Hey everyone. All right, let's jump straight into today's explainer because we are unpacking some incredibly profound source material today. We're looking at a fascinating ancient text, a discourse delivered by the Buddha to his chief disciple of divine vision, Arahant Anuruddha. And this teaching, well, it outlines the ultimate beautification of life. It's all about 5 specific virtues that don't just make a person's life beautiful right here and now, but actually guarantee their success in the next life too. Now, the source material frames this around a woman's life, but as the discourse makes crystal clear, these principles apply universally to absolutely anyone seeking true fulfillment. So, the source text forces us to kick things off with a pretty direct question. What actually makes a life beautiful? Seriously, think about that for a second. We spend so much time, energy, and let's be real, money trying to curate the perfect outward appearance, the perfect social media feed, the perfect home. But is that actual beauty? This text completely challenges our everyday assumptions about success and appearance, taking a radically different approach to what constitutes a genuinely beautiful life. Look at the contrast the text points out here. On one side, you've got physical beauty. It's a fading asset. As the source bluntly points out, we're so often obsessed with the physical eye and the physical body, but that's just flesh, right? It decays, gets sick, and eventually ages and loses its sight. But contrast that with inner beauty. The text frames this as eternal. Cultivating unshakable inner virtues is literally the only thing that actually protects your mind and leads to a heavenly rebirth, or just a truly peaceful existence.
Okay, here is our clear roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 5 main points. The truth seen by the divine eye, the first quality, which is saddha or confidence, moral shame and dread, a life free from anger, and finally wisdom. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The truth seen by the divine eye. To really grasp these virtues, the text introduces us to Arahant, Anuruddha, a monk who had acquired an extraordinary ability called the divine eye. And according to the text, he achieved this through lifetimes of incredible dedication, literally offering hundreds of thousands of lamps to past Buddhas to create massive displays of light. The source breaks down 3 ways of seeing the world. First, you've got the physical eye, which just sees flesh and, eventually decays. Then you have the divine eye, which Anuruddha had. With it, he saw a woman who had passed away and been reborn as a deity in a heavenly world. This actually prompted him to ask the Buddha what virtues lead to such a beautiful fate. But the text reveals something huge. Even Anuruddha's magnificent divine eye wasn't enough to clear his own mind of defilements. He had to be guided by another wise monk, Sariputta, to drop his ego and develop the third and most absolutely crucial eye, the eye of wisdom. Because it's only the eye of wisdom that actually sees and eradicates our deep-rooted mental defilements. That brings us to section 2, the first quality, saddha, or confidence. Now, people usually translate saddha as just faith, but honestly, the text defines it as much more than just blind belief. It's this deep, unshakable confidence in the Buddha, his teachings, and the enlightened community. It acts as your ultimate inner protection. The text emphasizes that physical wealth, like your money or property, can be stolen by thieves. But saddha, that is a wealth that absolutely no one can take from you. But here's the catch. You and you alone are responsible for protecting it. So there's this brilliant story from the source material that captures this perfectly. It's about a layman who had prepared this massive almsgiving event. On day 1, the monk Magellana asks him to delay his grand event by 7 days, so the Buddha could first attend to another devotee, Suppavasa. The layman agrees to the delay, but his logic is super fascinating. He tells the monk, listen, over these 7 days, my food might spoil, and truthfully, my own life might end unexpectedly. If you can guarantee my food and my life for 7 days, I'll delay. Magellana guarantees his food and life, but tells him, you alone must protect your saddha. The layman realized that while external things could be preserved by others, his own inner faith and confidence was the only thing he actively had to protect from degrading. I love how the source connects this ancient lesson perfectly to our modern lives. We spend our brief lives chasing material wealth, right? Huge mansions, luxury cars, but eventually our bodies age, and sitting in a luxury car doesn't really matter much if your back hurts and you can barely stand up. Material wealth brings only temporary joy. Cultivating inner joy through daily practices of faith, gratitude, and devotion, that is what the text argues brings lasting, unshakable peace. Let's move to section 3, Hiri and Ottappa. That's moral shame and dread. Let's break these down. Hiri is defined as a deep internal shame. But wait, The source doesn't mean toxic guilt trip shame. No, this is an empowering, internal dignity. It's that quality that makes you ashamed to lie, ashamed to steal, or ashamed to gossip, even when absolutely no one else is watching. And it even extends to the mind. Having hiri means you feel a sense of embarrassment at your own jealous or greedy thoughts. It basically means you hold yourself to a higher standard.
And partnered right alongside hilari is Oddhacca. This is the profound fear of karmic consequences. It's an intelligent dread. It's the deep understanding that unwholesome actions, like harming others, cheating, or getting intoxicated for cheap thrills, will inevitably lead to future suffering. It acts as a powerful, entirely rational deterrent against doing bad things. The source material makes these concepts highly practical for everyday life. Like, it means backing away from spreading malicious gossip. It means not constantly coveting what your neighbors have. And get this, it even mentions avoiding killing small insects like cockroaches out of petty, childish phobias. The text actually urges readers to abandon these immature fears that lead to mindless killing and instead act with maturity and respect for all life. The text then throws a really fascinating challenge our way. Think about it. We navigate our daily lives totally trusting academic knowledge. If someone knows physics, chemistry, or technology, we trust that knowledge to guide our physical world without a second thought. So the text asks, why can't we use spiritual knowledge with that exact same level of trust? Just as we trust science, we should trust the Buddha's profound vision of karmic consequences to guide our spiritual lives and avoid those negative outcomes. Moving to our fourth section, a coda, or a life free from anger. A coda is basically this absolutely beautiful quality of having a mind free from anger. It means when frustration arises, because let's face it, it will, you let it go instantly rather than holding a grudge or seeking revenge. The source gives some super practical advice here. If someone constantly provokes you and causes friction, the wisest, most beautiful action is to simply kindly distance yourself from them. You don't have to hold a grudge, you just protect your own peace by curating who you allow into your inner circle.
And that brings us to the fifth and crowning virtue, a true path of liberation, panna, or cultivating wisdom. Panna is wisdom. It is the ultimate lens through which to view the world. You cultivate panna by consistently learning, listening to profound teachings, and actually applying that understanding to realize the true, impermanent nature of life. If you remember, it's exactly what Arahant Anuruddha ultimately needed to clear his mind completely and see the full truth. All of this culminates in a massive, ultimate promise directly from the Buddha. When a woman is endowed with these 5 qualities, upon the breaking up of the body after death, she is reborn in a good destination, in a heavenly world. The source emphasizes that whether you're a woman or a man, anyone who practices saddha, hiri, atapa, akoda, and panna is absolutely guaranteed success, peace, and beauty in both this world and the next. So, here's a provocative thought right from the source text to leave you with today. You cannot get a single second of your life back. Not one. So how are you going to spend your next one? Are you going to waste it chasing fading physical beauty and temporary material thrills? Or are you going to start actively cultivating these 5 beautiful, unshakable virtues today? The choice is entirely yours, but the clock is ticking.